Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to start a series which is top interview 150 questions of the LeetCode, which is must do list for the interview preparation suggested by LeetCode. So in this series we will solve only the medium questions. I'll be solving only the medium questions in the videos. Since easy one you can handle, we will solve the medium questions. So the first question which we are going to handle in this series is removing the duplicates from the sorted array 2, and the question number is 80 and it comes under medium. So without delay, let's understand the question. So here the question is, given an integer array num sorted in non-decreasing order, which means it is in increasing order, remove some duplicates in place such that each unique element appears at most twice. So you can see here we have to remove the duplicates, and the constraint is we should do it in place. And since we are using the array, we should do it like in place array, shifting or shuffling, so whatever. So next part of the question is the relative order of the elements should be kept the same. So what does it mean? So if 1 comes first and then 2, so it should be in the same order. Now it is saying, since it is impossible to change the length of the array in some languages, you must instead have the result in place in the first part of the array nums. More formally, if there are k elements after removing the duplicates, then the first k elements of the num should hold the final result. It does not matter what you leave beyond the first k elements. So if you see the signature of the method over here, so the return type is int. So this int is this k element. So since it is we will be doing in place removal of the duplicates. If you see over here, we are having 3 1s, 2 2s and 1 3. So we can have at most twice duplicate. So we can have 2 1s, 2 2s and 1 3. So if we do it like this, our final array will become like this. So after removing of the duplicates, so if we remove, so we have removed this one. So now this place remains the same since it's an array, and we are not or we are not, in some languages it is not possible to change the length of the array, like for example in Java. So we have already initialized it with that length, so we cannot we cannot decrease the length, or we cannot modify the length. So in this case we need to return the value k. So what the k means over here, so our final result have in this length, so 1 2 3 4 5, so it is 1 based, so my final result is 1. So whatever beyond is, so compiler is going to ignore it. So your test will pass if this is matching with the assertion. So the same thing has been explained over here. Okay, now return k after placing the final result in the first k slot of the nums. Do not allocate extra space for another array. You must do this by modifying the input array in place with O of 1 extra memory. So you cannot use any extra memory, and you have to do it in place also. Okay, so if extra memory would have been allowed, we could have taken help of hash maps or something like that, but here we need to do in place. So we need to think of something. So what we can do, since it is sorted array, so it is of great help. So we know that if it is sorted, we can compare the first 2 elements or the previous next element, and we can check whether both are same. So if both are same, we can increase the count, right? And if our count is less than or equal to 1, then we can start shifting the array. So we need to take help of the index and another index which we will use for shifting, and the count variable. It will become more clear once we write the code for this. So we'll take help of a variable called index, which we are going to start from 1, and a count variable starts from 0. Now we'll run the loop. before running the loop, we can have one corner case check. If our nums dot length is less than 3, then no, it is like it can have at most 2 elements, and even if it's like duplicate, it is fine because at most 2 is allowed. So we can return 2, right? Now int I equal to 1, I is less than nums dot length I plus plus. Now I told you we are going to check if our nums of I is equal to my previous nums I minus 1. Since we are using I minus 1, to avoid any error, we are using I from 1. So if from the starting also, it will be, if I is equal to 1, so 1 minus 1, it will become 0. Okay, so we will increase the count plus plus. Else, if they are both different element, we will be reinitializing count to 0. Okay, now in each iteration we can check if our count is less than equal to 1. So either it is 0 or 1. Okay, in this case, what you can do nums index plus plus equal to nums of I. So you can consider it on this like it's a if condition, and this loop will run only once. This is not a while condition. Okay, now after this we need to return the k, so we can return the index. Okay, so every time our count is less than 1, we will do the shifting. Now let's run this. So it is passed. So if we want to make a dry run for this example, so my I is 1 over here, okay, and my count is 0. So if I'll come over here, so this is equal to my previous one, right? So my count here becomes 1, right? And now we check if our count is less than 1, which is true. So what we will do, index plus plus. So from index 1, okay, so on index 1 will have nums of I. So I is also 1 and index is also 1, so it is getting replaced in the same place, so no effect. Now we'll have I equal to 2. So now here I is equal to 2, so we'll come over here. So we'll check if it is equal to I minus 1, which is 1. So yeah, this is equal, so our count will increase to 2. So now we'll come over here. If it is less than or equal to 2, no, our count is 2, right? So we'll ignore this. Okay, now again let's come back to this. Now I become 3, so 0 1 2 3, so we are here. So now we'll compare with I minus 1, which is 1, which is not equal. So we'll come over here and our count become 0, right? Now we'll come over here. If it is less than equal to 1, yes it is, because our count is 0. Now what we will do, index plus plus. Now index was at 1, so 0 1 2, so our index was at 2, so we'll replace this 2 with this, so our 2 will come over here. So in the similar fashion it will get shifted. Okay, let's try to submit this. So it got submitted. Hope you understood the question. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.